Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like 20 bucks a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like 50 bucks a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion, Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with 2 classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
Brandon, why are there all these charges
stop.
for just over $200?
I'm tired of all this Brandon business, okay? Brandon this, Brandon that. Why are there all these expenses on AKR over $200? We know, okay? Take a walk with me. At Shop AKR, they have everything you need to start racing at a very cheap and affordable price. They have MXC rims, they got chains, electrical stands, tilt seats, they got MXCs. And if you didn't know, on top of that, any purchase in the continental US over $200, that's free shipping.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in the AKR Anonymous meeting over there?
Dude, I'm doing a commercial.
Dude, we have no time. It's about to start.
Stop. We all love Shop AKR. Me? More than others. What do I get at Shop AKR?
MXC rims.
Kyle, what are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Who the f is Kyle Cuthbertson? Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney. Turney in the dirt.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to Indy Kart and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with 2 classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
All the way up to the finish line. Who is it going to be? And it's Sean Perez who wins in Crescent.
Ty Fisher wins $1,000 in KA100 Jr.
Alex Stanfield played it perfectly here. Told him to wait. Stanfield wins the Duffy in 2024 for TV Karts.
Amarillo Kart Complex is now the official distributor for TV Kart in the continental U.S. Become a dealer today.
Let's go race.
Come on, man.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. Long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead, follow, on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor.
Gates are open, and that means one thing. It's time for these drivers to get ready to go racing. Welcome everyone to KA1 Circuit Whiteland for today's coverage once more of the Indy Karting Challenge. We're already under green for our first grouping of the day. It's the 206 cadets as they battle on the racetrack. The restart zone to the back straightaway today. These drivers already single filed out. Get ready to go to the start zone. A good launch for the field. A good start to the racing as one kart is off the track. That's not good as James Fox leads them around the track.
Looks like to be as we'll wait to see if they come across the line. But James Fox is your race leader at the moment. He has stretched it out by several kart lengths. The best battle on the track is between Hastings and Grayson Wyatt for that second spot. As we try to wait to see, it is, don't know which number it is on that card, but for James Fox, already checked out on the field. Hastings also trying to battle his way up through and gets a great jump, moving up to P2, but goes a little bit wide. That opens up the door right there for the competitors.
And now we'll have to see what happens with these drivers as they fare out here with these separations already building up. Remember, with the race format when it comes to today and throughout the weekend, 5 minutes plus 2 laps is the distance for the heats. It's 10 minutes plus 2 laps for the finals, however. So a little bit longer for the odd rounds on the race distance with the track layout here today. Also, looks like the kart that had issues in the grass has maintained itself on the circuit. Don't see a number plate specifically, but that's the only number left,
Yeah, Owen Schul, who's about to go 1 lap down now. here in this opening couple of laps. 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Of course, heat races are 5 plus 2 laps. The features are 10 plus 2 laps. So a lot of things can still happen between now and then. But for your race leader, James Fox, it is a 4-second lead over Wyatt and Hastings, who are starting to separate themselves a little bit at the moment, as well as Fox is having a difficult time trying to get around Owen for the moment.
It's going to take some time, really, to set this up properly. Right now, that 43 Kart fighting as hard as they might to stay on the lead lap here. A little bit wide and almost wrecks into the leader. Sure able to hold on to it, but that was a little bit scary. James Fox having to zip by in a very close call.
Yeah, close call indeed for James Fox in that number 12. I believe that's the top car he's in behind the wheel of as he tries to negotiate. Sets his personal best a few moments ago, but continues to stretch out that race lead by 3.2 seconds over Grayson Wyatt in second place. He's trying to close in, but not a lot of time left for them to work their way through. It's just got to be smooth sailing, signature marks for James Fox to take home this heat race victory.
Lost only about a second from that excursion as we see the rest of the drivers separate out. Fox continues on, has been a driver that's raced for a long while, started racing actually recently in April 2024. Feels like in more than a year, it's a long time at this rate with how years gone. But these drivers still continue to progress. He was also successful in micro, also races the 206 cadets when it comes to his speed. So James Fox, very sporty whatever class you put him in when it comes to here at K1 Circuit Whiteland and his experience that eventually led to him racing Daytona last fall.
Yeah, this kid here has had a lot of talent, especially here. Of course, he was your round 2 winner, as well as picked up a heat race win on round 1. So he knows a thing or two about getting around this circuit. And with Patrick McNeely not being here or Bo Lazier racing in today's race, this gives a big opportunity for him to get double points, maximum points, and take over the points lead.
Great points opportunity. So we have 20 seconds left to go on the clock with how time goes. Separation for the lead, growing almost 5 seconds last time by. Grayson Wyatt and then Brett Hastings, the current top 3, Tate Hall and Owen Schul, all the other drivers on the track. 2 laps to go when they get to the stripe. As we see Fox just having some fun with some speed. Wyatt trying to hold on in second as there's the double sticks.
2 laps to go as we see Fox continue on with a strong performance here. James just hitting his marks to the best of his ability, has a 5.4 second advantage. A couple of drivers who have been making some improvement on their lap time. A little shout out to them as well. Last time by Grayson Wyatt set a personal best as well. And for Brett Hastings making some improvements here. So, of course, for this 206 cadet category, this is just drivers learning how to get around these circuits here, to learn to improve upon their driving and racing skills to where one day they could be the next future superstars of some of the biggest names in karting.
White flag is out final time around as Fox continues to control things by a sizable margin, more than 6 seconds now. This kind of sets the tone potentially for the final later on this morning. Able to pull away this much in this short amount of a time. This kart seems very quick in general when it comes to its pace right now. We'll have to see if he's able to keep it up. But James Fox making his way through the final corners. No issues here to start off the day. Fox comes out of the final corner. James Fox takes the checker flag to win in 206 Cadet. Fox does so with a sizable margin over Tom Grayson Wyatt. 7.5 seconds is the distance between those two, with Hastings in third spot. Schul will finish a lap down, and Hall will round out the drivers on the racetrack. 5 karts coming away to the checkered flag here, Taylor.
Yes, indeed. As checkered flag, here comes Tate Hall to wrap it up, and already we're getting set and ready to go. Ready racing for your next category, the 206 Sportsman. Got several top karts, the MPG Kart Republic, and more. They are eager and ready to go out on the track. Just open the gate and release the hounds, and they'll be set and ready to go. A couple of mechanics giving a couple of last-minute thoughts and adjustments needed for the karts as we get set to go racing for the second heat race of the morning session. And we're just going to wait here a couple of minutes to release them here, as they're scheduled to go out at 9:48. We'll see how this all plays out here for our competitors.
They run a very tight ship when it comes to the schedule, and we'll note here, Taylor, for the most part, if it says 9:47 on the schedule, they are going to release them at 9:47. Not earlier, not later. As long as they are set to go, and as long as there's no cleanup, usually they follow that schedule right down to the letter. But these drivers,
and that's why
are, I was about to say, these drivers are ready to drive to the fence.
They are about to break down the fence, but that's the reason why a lot of these series are so meticulous of releasing cars at certain times. Yes, there may be no pickup, but it's just to keep everything in a flow of fashion and order for these drivers, because there could have been a kart on track that they got to pick up or other situations, and that's why they set these time limits in position for them. And it looks like it's time to open it up and release them onto the track, and they're ready to go for your 206 Sportsman.
Right on cue to be able to let them on the racetrack. Lincoln Wiley will start on the pole. Ari Berger will start in second spot. Blake Martinez and Light Samanowik will be the top 4. Christopher Heinzen will start 5th, and Gio Nelson is in 6th position. So the inside line controlled by Berger. Green flag is out. We're underway. The clock now rolls. They work their way to the second half of the course. Already the outside line prevailing when it comes to the momentum swing to the corners. That's Blake Martinez able to make the pass for second, trying to go back and forth now with Berger taking a dive nearly to the grass.
Berger came close, but he was able to keep it on the pavement as best he can across the line. It's Wiley, Martinez, Berger, and Heinzen, your top 4. Simonellic in 5th position at the moment as they snake their way through the S's in this tight technical section of the K1 Whiteland circuit.
Good separation for Wiley up at the front of the field as time goes now early. Nelson already well off the mark. So, see the top 2 trying to look back. No need to tuck in and get aerodynamic when you have such a buffer right now when it comes to Wiley's case over the rest of the field. Right now looking very confident up front with that gap that's starting to grow a bit over Martinez.
As they work their way over towards the start-finish line right now, Wiley currently looking to try and go back-to-back, or at least try to go for a back-to-back run for him. He finished second in both the heat race and in the finals, and he's looking to try to go one step further on the standings as they come across out of the couple of corners here. Heading down towards the back straightaway, he has got about a couple of kart length advantage over Blake Martinez, your points leader, by 6/10. Martinez starting to reel him in, though, as they enter into the braking zone. Into the corner they will go as they approach the hairpin.
Just chipping away. Martinez trying to at the very least right now. Last time by, Martinez was 4/10 quicker than the race leader. So they are starting to reel them on in. Drafting distance not so easy to be able to do here when it comes to that. Keep in mind, Blake Martinez also competed in mini Swift competition to start off the season. So Martinez, a very busy driver amongst the classes here in the Indy Karting Challenge. But it's now down to 3 kart lengths. He's getting very tucked in, while he not so much tucked in right now. Martinez really good in the second half of the racetrack right now.
Yeah, he set the fastest lap of the race by over 0.3 of a second right there, and he is looking for more as he comes down across out of the final corners across towards the start-finish line, and he is going to try to set up a pass here. He tries to look around for an opening, can't find it, sets another personal best with a 46.5, and he is really trying to put the pressure on Lincoln Wiley. But can Wiley just stay smooth and consistent with these 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go?
Lots of pressure right now on the back end of Wiley as they make their way to the second half of the racetrack once again. Up to the start box, or deeper in goes Martinez, able to stick a corner exit, chips it down to a kart length once again. Now follows in the charred tracks of Wiley, gets a good run, gets it under a kart length, tries to arc it for a diamond for the run, side by side for the race lead. Martinez trying to get the edge, takes the lead at the stripe. Blake Martinez with the pass.
Beautiful execution right there for that pass for the race lead for Blake Martinez. He is setting himself up for a really good run here, and he's starting to break away just a little bit now. It's about a kart length, now stretched it out to 2 kart lengths as they head towards the back straightaway.
Will Wiley be able to respond? That's the huge question mark right now. Not too much time to do so. Huge send to the corner costs him some time. Too much speed on the curbing. Martinez now starts to build a buffer. Tries to get aerodynamic. Trying to get down and tucked in. Pulling away now by 5 kart lengths. And that's how big a mistake is in terms of overspeed in that technical section with the hairpins here, Taylor. It cost Wiley so much time on ground.
It really did, and he is going to struggle right now. He's get a good run here through this section, and he can maybe pull away, but we see Martinez get so much better run off corner exit. That kart just sticks down to the ground and makes that big pull away from Wiley as they come out of this section here off the back straightaway, and he has just been smooth and consistent. Wiley seems to be struggling in certain parts where he cannot make up the time he needs to challenge Martinez for the race lead as they come down the front straightaway. It's going to be 2 laps to go when they come to the line.
Double sticks up in the air. Martinez trying to maintain up front. Wiley trying to chip away in quickly. Wiley's been more decent when it comes to his runs in the first sector. He's been able to close up to within a couple kart lengths. This time he gets within a 1. It's been the second sector that's been his bugaboo to start off the day. Will there be an improvement with Martinez? He bumps around, trying to get tucked in. Now Wiley trying to find a way to learn things in the Rhino Liner section. Tucks into the inside, gets within 2 kart lengths, a little bit better this time, coming to the white flag.
One more time around for Blake Martinez. He just has to be smooth and consistent. Wiley, though, has the pace, though, as he did set fast lap last time by, and he is trying to be right there on top of him. He might set up a pass here heading into the back straightaway. He looks around. He shows the nose. Can't quite make it work. Not able to do so here, but he is right there on the back bumper of Blake Martinez down the back straightaway for the final time. Will he dive it to the inside? He's got right there to the nose, side by side into the braking zone. Completes the pass. Beautiful job by Lincoln Wiley.
Not done yet. A squeeze off on Martinez. Martinez now tries to set a crossover back. Tries to take a peek to the outside. Wiley goes defensive to the right side. Crossover to the inside. Martinez outside. Wiley, a drag race to the stripe. It is Martinez by 72 1/1000ths of a second.
How about that? All I got to say is make sure if you're watching, tune in to the 206 Sportsman feature race here in a little bit, because these two are going to put on one heck of a show for us today.
So in the end, Blake Martinez does get the edge by 72 1/1000ths over Wiley. Christopher Heinz in the top 3. Berger, Salmonella, and Nelson were the rest of the runners in that field. A fanatical finish. So this brings us into the next portion of our afternoon, or rather our morning sessions. It feels like afternoon. It's almost 10 a.m., mind you. As these drivers now get sorted.
9 a.m. for me.
Yes, indeed. But good time to mention the weather conditions here today. It is, for these drivers, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's expected to get as high as 76 today. Partly cloudy skies. A beautiful day for racing, Taylor.
A beautiful, perfect weather conditions when it comes to racing. I have to say so myself, because there is nothing better than that. And it's going to be an exciting one here today as we keep an eye on that. And I know for a fact when we get later on in the afternoon, those tires are going to heat up, but it's not going to be too severe. So a lot of grip is going to be still out there. Track is not going to get too greasy with these weather conditions out there this morning.
Yes, indeed. So here is how they'll line up once they get on the racetrack here in the next couple moments or so. These drivers will get the all clear to hit the circuit at 9:57. That's in 1 minute's time. They are led by Derek Hastings today. He was set the pole by 0.5 of a second. Corkadale will start in second. Troy Toney in third. J. Brian Williams and Scott Hamble, the top five. Then it's going to be Burpo and Geist, followed behind by Ryan Waldo. Row number 5, Tower D-Man and Jesse Bullock. Kevin Summerduck will start in 11th. Adam Dietz in 12th. Nick Bailey, 13th. Bill McLaughlin in 14th. Very sizable, the master field here today compared to the start of the season. It's going to be fun to see this very large field to battle it out.
Absolutely, it is. It's going to be one exciting here of these 206 Masters, as we like to call it. Yes, these drivers are practically now my age or older, unfortunately, being 30 years of age now. So basically, this would be my class if I was running in the 206 Masters category. But these drivers here are really some of the veterans, the ones who have helped pave the way of karting here in this area, and we're going to be seeing an exciting show today.
These drivers have a very quick setup before they get off to the start zone and the tram lines. See those tram lines set up down the back straightaway for this purpose. Bit of a cushion between some of the karts here on the lineup. Green flag is out. We're underway once again. Good start for your race leader and Derek Hastings. Everybody else going 2x2 and a spin in the middle of the pack. Couple karts going around. Some troubles there for the 641. Scott Hamble amongst those. One driver getting out of their karts. The rest of the field able to zip away with their karts.
That is a tough break. Don't know who that is, but it's Hastings and McCorkadale who will lead the charge. You got Matt Geist, Troy Toney, Diet, Waldo, Bullock, your top 7 as the rest of the field comes around. Burpo, unfortunately, I think he might have got caught up in that mess right there. He dropped back to P10. He's got a lot of work to do here in this race.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers having some troubles already before they even got to the start, or rather the finish line here today with the start line on the back straight away. Hastings McCorkadale starting things off mightily feisty though. Those two separated by 2 to 3 kart lengths to start things off here today. McCorkadale trying to get on the high horse to close up pretty quickly here. This format doesn't leave you too much time, too much room for error to say the very least, Taylor. You need to be up on it if you want a chance for the race win.
You certainly do, and McCorkadale is doing so as he works his way through around the circuit, putting the pressure on Derek Hastings as they come down the back straightaway. Tries to show the nose, can't quite make it work. But that all black kart of Derek Hastings doing everything he can to keep McCorkadale right behind him as they come through the double apex or the double hairpins right there, heading over to the final couple of corners. Big run coming from the 19.
Big run, doesn't have enough of a run to get alongside though. Stays within 1 kart length with 3 minutes to work with. And this is almost a feeling of plotting and planning to try and get things lined up here. in this opportunity, try and set things up right. But also, it's going to require him to be a little bit more faster, because last time by on the speed radar, he did set the fastest lap, but it still isn't enough when Hastings can just respond with his own quick time in the first half of the sector and be able to stretch it back out.
Yeah, he is really just basically not right at par, but still just a tick under, but still keeping pace to where he can keep the Corkadale behind him at certain points of the track across the start-finish line. 2 minutes, 16 seconds, plus the 2 laps to go, and they practically run identical lap times just about as they work their way around the circuit here, running their both personal best. And so far, it is going to be critical to see how this all plays out. Matt Geist, he's all by his lonesome in third place. Troy Toney trying to catch up to him, but to no avail. He's about 1.2 seconds back for position.
Yeah, good recovery for Matt Geist, by the way, who had some issues in qualifying. That's seen him pull off to the side at one point. We know Geist has the speed, though, when it comes to the races. We'll see if he's able to make his way into the lead pack later on today. But these two, 46 flats last time by to set the tone. Both of them fell off by a tenth of a second. Doesn't matter when they're busy squabbling. Fastest lap of the race set by Troy Toney, who's still in the 4th position. Hastings, he's really good in this first half of the racetrack right now, Taylor. It's the second half, but Corkadale is much more comfortable through the hairpin corners.
He really is, and this is where he shines and picks up the most time that he loses in that first half of the racetrack right here. The problem is he just doesn't have enough of a push and momentum to keep it wound up to challenge and get to the inside or outside of Derek Hastings, your race leader. There you see Troy Toney closing in on Matt Geist as well, so we could have a battle for third as Hastings comes across the line, looking to continue on with his run.
35 seconds to go on the clock right now. 2 karts line up in this grouping. You see them on screen trying to square away and battle out so many battles grouped together here. You have Geist and Toney, you have Hastings for Corkadale, you have Brian Williams and Burpo Alonso's also packed together, coming up towards near 2 minutes to go. These drivers all in battle mode as the new gen machine. See on screen, tries to close up in the fight. Some drivers also in the midst of letting others go. As Hastings and Corkadale cross the line, they've gotten the 2-to-go signal already here. As Nick Bailey has been lapped, it appears, as the battle out to close out this race.
Good fight here between Geist and Troy Toney as those two try to work their way through. And then you have a couple of lap cars, Nick Bailey being put 1 lap down here at the end of this event. Here we go, McCorkadale to the inside, completes the pass. Can Hastings respond? McCorkadale just waiting and fighting the time to make the run he needs, and he is already stretched out to a kart lane. Hastings running out of time as they come around to take the white flag.
It's not over yet. White flag is coming up. Final time around, Hastings building a run in that first sector. Can he set something up for the back straight away? Corkadale trying to hold on. Try and hold on to the buffer. Hastings trying to go tighter on corner exit. Lines up to the number plate of a Corkadale. They hit the back straight away. Hastings tries to build it up. Takes a small poke. Now goes for a big poke. Backs it out. They'll hold on as they make their way to the Rhino Liner section through the hairpins. They've got more corners to work with. Hastings needing to set up a good diamond line. Half a kart length back. Now closing up to half a kart length alongside. Side by side. Another drag race. It is Hastings at the line.
That is 2 races in a row where the leader who took the white flag coming out of those final corners did not end up winning the race.
An exciting finish yet again. Hastings over Corkadale, Geist, and Toney, the top 4. Hamble, J. Brian Williams, Dietz, Burpo, Waldo, and Bullock. The top 10. You have Sabadella D-Man and Bailey, the rest of the running order, in a exciting heat so far. As I will say, the social media team going to be kept very busy here today, Taylor. 2 drag races in a row.
Absolutely. It is going to be crazy to keep in mind of how this all plays out amongst the competitors here. And I know the social team with the 2 major side-by-side battles to the finish line here in Heat Race 1 for these drivers is going to be one of excitement to watch.
And you have to wonder what's going to be, in terms of the racing at least, showcased next when it comes to KA Jr. Expecting a very sporty class, hopefully here today for those drivers, for those 6 ready to go, especially knowing some of the experience of those in that field. Once again, Lucy and Laser points later tied up with Evan Patton. Right now, Laser's got the edge with a finals victory compared to Patton's consistent 3rd and 2nds when it comes to the heat and final pattern. Ryan Mort start on the pole for this field. Then it's Andrew Avelos starting 2nd. Mason Gallion, Lucy Laser, Evan Patton, Jordan Laban, the 6 karts who took part in the quali session here. This should be a very fun time here, Taylor, to see if they keep up the consistency in terms of the close finishes, I mean.
Absolutely. Can we keep that streak going for 3 side-by-side finishes to the line? We're going to find out here in the KA100 Jr category. Should be released here in about 1 minute time.
So now we'll just have a few more moments as these drivers continue the preparations. They will hit the racetrack in less than 10 seconds. Now as their engines fire for this field. Gates now getting the command to open right on cue every single time as soon as that hits the 0 seconds on the docket. So it's Ryan Mort in the MPG Motorsports machine, a 2022 206 Junior Sportsman champion. Looking to do well here today. Had, mind you, a few weeks ago, the Stars Tour, picked up a podium finish in KA Jr at the Queen City Gambit. Off and away we go. Green flag is out. Mort leads them through the hairpins. A great start, a lot of drifting and sliding in the battle for 2nd. The tires look to grip up and get slicked up. Lots of weaving already, and the caution. Looks like we'll restart this. Caution.
Yep, not a good start right here, so we're going to re-rack them and restack them. And time does not start, so we are still going to go away and try this again. Hopefully we can get a good, clean start for this next run as they approach back into the tram line.
Restart here. They did not like how that start went. At least 1 or 2 karts there were well behind the rest of the field. And now we'll do this again. Slow rolling this time, being told to make sure to wait until they get to the exact spot needed for the start. Green flag is out. Let's stick this time. Mort and Avelos side by side. It looks like it will stick. Mort with a good start. Up a spot goes Gallion as the 7 gets uprooted all the way back to 5th. Make it 6th.
Good run right here as they come across the line. Mort, Gallion, Laser all leading the charge right now, and they are nose to tail. Your top 6 right there, just absolutely all over each other to try to see who can come out on top. But Ryan Mort doing what he needs to do. Hits the curb a little too hard right there. Bumps up a little wide, but has enough room to be able to gather it back up and keep Galen behind, who shows the nose to the inside. Side by side, top curve versus Kart Republic. A little bit of a wobble right there, but Galen takes over the race lead.
Galen out up to the front of the field. Galen now looks to run away. Gallion Now it's the matter of can Mort respond quickly? Mort with the national experience. Still 4 minutes to work with the separation at the stripe. 0.3 of a second. Now we look to see if Gallion is able to stretch it out here, try and break the toe. They've gone back and forth, these two, before in KA Junior Finals. That includes in the Sunset Springs about 6 months ago, where they went back and forth in October 2024. Now we'll see if they're able to keep that battle going here today. A stand for third, it's Laser, who starts towards the back of this grid. He's already on the prow, up 3 spots.
And looking for more as they come down the front straightaway towards start-finish line. Laser now is just about half a second back from Ryan Mort, as Mason Galen is trying to hold everything back to make sure he can come home with the heat race victory as they slide their way through the corner.
Flipping and sliding, but so far making it stick. These drivers continue to turn lap time to the 41-42 second bracket here in this one. Mort trying to chip away, gets within 2 kart lengths, loses a couple on the corner exits, heading down the front straightaway now. Already about halfway through the clock. These two still see Mort pick up the faster lap time. Mort looks really good in draft.
He's got a good toe, and that car can really make it stick through these corners here as they come through this tight hairpin. You see how much wheel they're having to input in there because of the slide they have to overcompensate for. But here comes Galen and Mort. Mort tries to see if he can close in closer, gets right on the back bumper, not able to do anything with it just quite yet, as he's trying to see if he can build up enough momentum. But look at the run Galen gets out of corner exit. He stretches it out to about 3 to 4 kart lengths.
He's really good coming out of the second hairpins. By the way, Patton has retaken third from Laser. Has also cycled into that second pack. Laser swarming the back end of the pinkish purple machine, trying to force a mistake from Evan. Looking to set up the draft. Laser pushing on down, trying to get drafty with it. Trying to find a way to slip around. As out front, a pass for the lead. Pass right on back. Mort overcommitted into the corner as the 64 of Galen able to take advantage quickly with 1:10 to go on the clock.
1:10 to go, and Galen still stretches it out. How about Laser moving up with the fastest lap of the race? But the problem is he is over a second behind these 3 drivers for the race lead, and he is running out of time as they head over towards a couple of corners towards the back straightaway. And the number 7 of it, Avelos, trying to show the nose on Laser.
Trying to peek around. Now it's the question on if there's another opportunity to make a pass quickly. Drivers quickly making their way to another lap. It looks like we'll get about 8 total by the time things get added up on the clock here. 30 seconds left on the board as they make the way down the front straightaway. That gap is gone just about. In fact, it is gone. The top 2 had separated out by about a second. Their deficit has been reeled on in. They're all over the back of the board.
They certainly are, and as they continue to do so, now Galen stretches it out. Here comes Evan Patton with a run down the back straightaway, trying to see if he can go for second place around Ryan Mort. Can't quite make it work. Patton tries to shift the nose there again through the 2 hairpins. Can't make an opening work. He's got to watch out for Laser, who's right there behind him. He might try to steal the spot away for third.
Double sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go here for KA100 Jr. Patton trying to find a way to gain some more points here, try and gain some track position for the final later on. Used a lot of curbing, nearly pushed up into the grass. Cut their way back straight away. A lap and a half to work with. Look back from Patton. He's got a bumper over Laser. Right now, Mort looking for any place he can poke. Patton takes a poke to the inside.
Here we go, coming to take the white flag. Galen, Mort, Patton, all now close up together. Here they come into turn one. No one able to show the nose just quite yet, but Mort really putting the pressure on it. They snake their way through the S's heading into the hairpin.
It's going to take a brave lunge at this point from Mort if he wants a chance for the race win. Allen still holds on. Bad run down the back straightaway for Patton. Here comes the Mort run. Mort takes a poke. Tries to set up of the right liner. Laser pushes back on Patton. Patton pushed up out of the groove. So is the Vowels as they get all shoving around. Checker flag waves. It's going to be Galen who takes the win over Mort. It's Laser over Patton with a brave lunge for third. Avelos and Lapham the field. A good run for KA100 Jr Taylor.
A stellar run indeed for KA100 Juniors. And this is your running order. It's Galen, Mort, Laser, Patton, your top four, Avelos, and Jordan Lappin, who will round out your 6-kart field.
A look top to bottom of KA Jr. That leaves just one more race, actually, to go for the Heats. And then we have a small buffer as a result of no shifter kart entries here today. It's 206 light. And we've seen how dominant things have gone so far for one Brader and Heber on the season. Heber setting a pole time 4/10 quicker than the rest of the field earlier today. He said himself he's coming off his most successful year racing yet. Also on a strong day at MCC in May the 1st when it came to the racing side of things. He's looking very stellar when it comes to his season so far. The question is, can anybody stop the blue number 8?
Absolutely, and we're going to see. I don't know if anyone can have anything for Heber, but they're going to try their best to make it work here in this stage of the race. As we get the 1-minute warning, open the gates, and release the drivers out onto the circuit.
So off and away goes Brandon Heber, a 206 track record holder at MCC Cincinnati. That'll lead things off here today at K1 Circuit Whiteland. Alongside of him, Brandon Johnson, Colin Hardin, and Colton Kelly. Ethan Williams, Andrew Petrie, Tower Sims, Andrew Goldman, Zachary Allen, Daniel Johnson, Gavin Halton. Roll around the field. Not a good start from the outside. The 26 of Johnson immediately jumps up to the race lead despite the bogged down start. And we're off and away for this field. We do stay green. Wasn't sure what the pace there for a moment, but wow, Braden Johnson did not look like he got going and still took the lead.
He certainly has. Now Braden Heber now has to find a way to respond as he sits in second place, a couple of kart lanes back. Colton Kelly, Colin Hardin, your top four. Williams also right there in the hunt as he tries to find the opening he needs to go move up further in the running order.
Heber looking for a setup. The top two have already pulled away by 7-8 kart lengths. On a slide to the right liner section as now they work their way through. Heber trying to cut things out. A spin and a crash for the barrier. It's the 19 of Sims who's broken through the red and white barriers. The far side of the racetrack as the leaders make their way through. Side by side for the lead. Heber poked to the left side of Johnson. Braden Johnson holds on for now.
Johnson holds on to the position for the moment. Heber trying everything he can to find an opening. He tries to dive it a little bit low, and he's got side by side, but he has to back off in order to make the corner heading down the back straightaway. He'll go around the outside as Johnson goes defensive on the bottom. Here they go. Crossover move could come into play here. Heber not able to get the power down quick enough, though, to try and challenge for the race lead.
Johnson, somebody who races a fair bit, loves to post pictures on social media when it comes to the Instagrams and the snap faces, as some may call it. But so far, here today. He's been battling out very strongly up at the front of the field. The driver coach for AMAX trying to coach Heber. Heber trying to cross him up, nearly taking the bumper off the back of the cart as Heber wants to go, and they have Kelly closing in.
Got to be careful with how much you use in that bumper. You do not want to get a pushback bumper penalty in this event here as he tries to do the same thing he did, but they are bringing in Colton Kelly into the hunt as well. It's about to be a 3-horse race. Heber chose to no again, trying to see if he can get to the inside. Johnson gives him room. Heber takes over. Crossover, though, by Johnson.
Side by side for the race lead. Yet again, Johnson gets the edge. And here comes Kelly. Colton Kelly now joining the conversation. Set the fastest lap of the race last time by in the midst of their close-up. Now is in the popcorn seat to watch these two battle it on out. Another defensive line, Johnson. Hard to the right side, overcommitted. Heber goes back to his right. And yet again, Brayden Johnson on the defense.
Johnson goes back down to the bottom of the racetrack to try to cover off, but Heber goes around the outside and make the pass stick, and he stretches that race lead out by a significant margin by about 0.3 of a second. Kelly all over the back bumper of Johnson as well, and this will bring in Ethan Williams and Colin Hardin into this hunt as well as these three battle it out for the lead.
Doesn't look like it's done yet. Johnson needs a good corner exit to close up on the draft. It's not so easy with these karts and 206s, but it is doable. About a minute to work with on the track. Heber works his blue kart all the way around, 1 kart length difference still. Johnson looks to be on the prowl here. They start things off for what will be about 6 laps once they come across the stripe next time by.
Yeah, they just about made it to where we could possibly get the 2-lap to go signal next time by. So we'll see how this plays out. But Heber trying to go on the defensive, try to white line around those certain parts of the track. But here comes Johnson with a big run down the back straightaway. See if he can close in closer and closer. Not able to make anything work here. Big slide, though, by Heber as they make their way through the hairpin.
Heber might cost himself some time. Some of the air battles you see on screen continue to develop meanwhile, including some of those new-gen karts. Bat around towards the back of the field. And just got a second or so on the board. Looks like it might be 3, yeah. That was by a couple seconds.
Yeah, just barely, and right there we saw both of them run their fastest lap of the race, a 44.9 for both of them. But it looks like Heber now stretches it out by a significant margin. About 4 kart lengths separate the two of them as they head down the back straightaway. Johnson running out of time, running out of laps and options to try and make this work.
Heber continues on now. Starting to reach around. You see his arm pop up there for a split second as he was checking on one thing. But one thing's for certain, it's 2 laps to go. That leads up to 6/10. Now that Heber's been let go and unleashed, he seems to be unleashing his speed all over the racetrack. Kelly, Williams, Hardin, the current top 5 as they run, as with a lap and a half to go.
Here they come down the back straightaway. Can Johnson find anything to go and challenge Heber for the race lead? Heber looking to complete a hat trick, winning every race he's started in this season, which has already been 2 of them so far, looking to go 3 for 3 in the heat races and in feature races for the 206 light category. Out of the final corner, white flag in the air for Brayden Heber.
Final time around. As he looks to finish things out strong, he's been very consistent on the lap count. 44.9 since he got up front. It was a 45.1 last time up for Johnson. That put him 0.8 back. But for Heber, this has been his season so far and how he's driven the past couple seasons here. Very fast when it comes to this style of racing in the 206s. Make things through the final corners. Some of the other battles you see close up to the checker flag here amongst the top 5. But it's kart number 8 who will take the victory. 206 light going the way of Brayden Heber. He wins the heat race over Johnson. The gap 1.2 seconds at the stripe. Kelly, Williams, Harden. Your top 5 here, Taylor. Rest of the runners, Andrew Petrie in 6, Andrew Goldman 7, Zachary Allen in 8, Daniel Johnson in 9, Tower Sims finish out of the top 10. Flip, Allen, and Goldman, they change spots in the last few laps of 206 Senior Light. So did Tower Sims in a drag race.
Yeah, exciting race here for these drivers and this event, but I gotta say the 206 Senior Lights between Heber and Johnson, I think Kelly, if he can find a little bit of something right towards the end of the run, he could have a shot of taking this fight to Heber and Johnson.
Take a small break. We have about a few minutes before we go racing once again. The finals coming up, 10 minutes plus 2 laps coming up after the break.
Brandon, why are there all these charges for just over $200?
I'm tired of all this branding business, okay? Branding this, branding that. Why are there all these expenses on AKR over $200? We know, okay? Take a walk with me. At Shop AKR, they have everything you need to start racing at a very cheap and affordable price. They have MXC rims, they got chains, electrical stands, tilt seats, they got MXCs. And if you didn't know, on top of that, any purchase in the continental US over $200, that's free shipping.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in the AKR Anonymous meeting over there?
Dude, I'm doing a commercial.
Dude, we have no time. It's about to start.
Stop. We all love Shop AKR. Me? More than others. What do I get at Shop AKR?
MXC rims.
Kyle, what are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Who the f is Kyle Cuthbertson? Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney, Turney in the dirt.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to Indy Kart and NASCAR, with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with 2 classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
All the way up to the finish line. Who is it going to be? And it's Sean Perez who wins in Crescent.
Ty Fisher wins $1,000 in KA100 Jr.
Alex Stanfield played it perfectly here. Told him to wait. Stanfield wins the Duffy in 2024 for TV Kart.
Amarillo Kart Complex is now the official distributor for TV Kart in the continental U.S. Become a dealer today.
Let's go race.
Come on, man.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with 2 classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
Brandon, why are there all these charges for just over $200?
I'm tired of all this branding business, okay? Branding this, branding that. Why are there all these expenses on AKR over $200? We know, okay? Take a walk with me. At Shop AKR, they have everything you need to start racing at a very cheap and affordable price. They have MXC rims, they got chains, electrical stands, tilt seats, they got MXC.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's action as we get ready to go racing for the finals for the Indy Karting Challenge. Justin Prince, Taylor Burris with you once again as we get all set to go for our first final of the morning. 206 Cadet, ready to go for 10 minutes plus 2 laps to see how they do. And so far, Taylor, we've seen plenty of photo finishes. Now it's the matter of seeing how this racing will fare out for the big points.
Yep, it's indeed, everyone. It is time to see how well we can work our way through for 10 minutes plus 2 laps, and it's going to be exciting to see here in all of our morning classes. The 206 Cadets, we saw a very exciting fight to the finish for our drivers, but I got to say, does anyone have anything for some of our main front runners, especially Mr. James Fox, who easily dominated the heat race this morning?
Yeah, he put up a dominating performance that's seen him now provisionally hold on to the lead. We'll see how things go currently. Or there is a drop available. So, the drivers are now on the racetrack. Now, there is one bulletin that came through. The drivers are now being given a warm-up lap in addition to the grid lap. So they're given an extra lap here to make sure they're all up to speed before they get to that start zone.
Yeah, this was just made in between the heat race and feature race event. So great to hear that the officials decided to give them a little bit of extra time to make sure everything was up to par, up to standard for their karts before getting set to go racing.
So your starting grid, James Fox, Grayson White, then it's Brett Hastings and Tate Hall, Owen Chulu, and the DNS from the Cadet Heat was Diesel Maxwell. So just about ready to go for this field. They'll get the start command this time. So now they double on up. And they are going way fast. They're not even close to group together here. But the green flag waves. But what stick? Fox trying to make the line stick for now. As they continue to squabble their way through the opening part of the racetrack. It is a great start for Hastings. The green does stand.
Yeah, if they're going to let it stand, and I'm pretty sure if need be, there will be some post-race penalties for that situation when we get set to go racing. But across the lines, Fox, Hastings, Wyatt, your top three, and James Fox already stretching it out to about 5 kart lengths over Hastings at the time being. Wyatt also right there trying to see if he can catch back up and make it a top kart 1-2, but so far it is not going to work out.
Still lots of time for James Fox to see how far he can go in his kart. Remember, he stretched out to 6 seconds for the first race of the day. Could be at least double, if not triple that, what he's able to showcase. But they are squabbling for second. Hastings and Wyatt are grouped together in second spots battle at the moment. So things could heat up for P2 as you see them in the backdrop of Fox.
Yeah, Hastings and Wyatt are battling for that second position right now. No pressure for Fox at the moment, 1.7 seconds ahead. This is the best battle to keep an eye on the track between the top kart of Grayson Wyatt and Brett Hastings as they work their way out down towards the back straightaway. Wyatt trying to get a bit of a tow, checks over his shoulders, realizes he has plenty of room to try to set something up. He'll go to the top side, try to cross him over as here comes Owen Schul in fourth.
So far, so squabbly is the field. There's a look at them right there. Schul looking a lot better potentially here today in this second race. We'll have to keep an eye on it after the off-tracks seen earlier on in the day. Still, though, already some of these drivers looking to spar it out for second still. It's going to be the matter of can Wyatt find his way to get around Hastings, or rather close up here. It's going to take some time.
I've noticed here recently Wyatt's been checking over his shoulder on the back straightaway. I think he needs to do less of that and more of just keeping his head focused on what's ahead of him right now, not really worry about what's behind. He's got plenty of room to not worry about getting past at the moment. He just needs to focus on trying to get a tow. But the thing is, probably be better to work with Brett Hastings to go and try and catch James Fox for the race lead. They're 2 seconds back. They lost another 10th on our race leader just this last lap.
It just lost a bit of time, but that's not the big thing. I think it's more so about what battles they can do right here and right now with how things are looking here. So it's going to be the question mark of what's going to happen for the rest of the way as we continue on with this race. It seems, there's a little bit of a slide there, maybe.
Yep, a little bit of a slide right there off corner exit for Hastings. That gives the position to Grayson Wyatt. And unfortunately for Brett Hastings, he lost a ton of time to second place. So now everyone's going to be stretched out from position. Let's see if Brett can find a way to catch back up. He is 0.6 of a second behind, but lost significant lead time on your race leader, James Fox.
Yes, indeed. So 6 minutes to work with on the clock as time goes. James Fox not pulling nearly as much as the last race yet. But the blue card, what? We're going to make it a 1-2 of the similar colored cards here today. Talked about him, some of his excursions earlier. Brett Hastings, let's talk about him, why don't we? Mind you, someone who raced a bit in the kid cards previously. A few years ago at Wilmington Raceway Park, has moved his way through the ranks to be able to build up speed and learn these cards as time has gone on. So far, the learning progression sees him having some fun in the podium positions here. Everyone's position seems secure at the very least here, Taylor. That's the bright side halfway through the race.
Absolutely here as the two top cards continue to showcase and lead the charge here. And of course, top card based out of Indiana in Brownsburg area. So they know a thing or two about when it comes to getting around this circuit here at Whiteland. As we watch on and see James Fox continue on his way with the charge across the start-finish line and currently sets fastest lap of the race with a 46.975 as everyone else starts to set some personal best.
Yeah, right now these drivers just at this point It's still valuable for track experience in general, Taylor, to be able to learn the track and be able to learn how to drive your kart as time goes on. Every bit of track time matters.
Absolutely here. Everything will matter for them as they work their way around. And of course, as they come across 4 minutes to go, plus an additional 2 laps. James Fox sets purple time again. Grayson Wyatt trying to close back up, but he is losing more and more time. It's 4.4 seconds separating himself from James Fox. Brent Hastings also losing time. He is 2 seconds behind. So now is the period where it's just settling in, learning about the track for those to maybe go back and make some adjustments, learn what they need to do to get ready for the next round later on this year.
Yes, indeed, that's going to be coming up actually in recent times, I believe, in terms of that schedule. As these drivers continue on with the action here for this season's racing. The schedule, just wanted to confirm, May the 31st is the next time out, so it's our basically one of just a few months where we have double months. May, June, and August, along with October, are the only months with race dates with 2 dates of the month. We also had April and September and November having their own solo dates on the schedule. So it's still early in the campaign. There's 12 rounds this season, Taylor, to be able to score points at the very least, to be able to get track time.
Yes, indeed, and there's going to be a lot of drivers going to be trying to come out here, especially when we race some other series that come out here to Whiteland. I mean, I know for sure the Route 66 series will put on a stellar show here later on this year, so we'll keep an eye on that. But as we watch James Fox and company, here comes the 60 machine of Tate Hall in his Kart Republic as they work their way around the circuit here as he tries to see if he can continue to set some precedent at lap times here. His best lap was on lap 3. Starting to fall off the pace just a little bit here. He lasted a 4:51, so he's got a little bit of work to do, maybe make some adjustments on how to do so, as he does pick it up a little bit there last time by.
Just getting a little bit more speedier here. Still 1:50 to go on the clock. And now it's going to be interesting where the rest of these drivers cycle by the end of this one. As we take a look at the 60 of Hall, 25 seconds off the leader, just trying to have some good speed. Looks to be really trying to get some rear stick out of the tires in the right aligner.
Here they come through, and so far it is going to be one of excitement as they come down through the corner, and it's going to be still James Fox holding strong as we watch a couple of other karts here. Tate Hall still working on trying to pick up a couple of tenths here or there on his. He's trying to close up on Owen Schul. He's 4 seconds behind him, starting to gain some ground, but I don't know if he will have enough time with a minute plus 2 laps to go.
I'm not sure about the time either at this point. In terms of some of the battles, maybe. But one thing's for certain. This card right here, James Fox, can already put one hand on the trophy as long as the kart doesn't have any issues. What he's been able to do in this race, outright dominant, is all you can say about his day in 2:06 Cadet. It's going to be the question mark of can he keep it up in the afternoon. But at the very least in the morning session, James Fox has been a tough fox to catch on the racetrack.
Been too sly for the competition.
Better punny. Better pun in that case, yes.
I mean, if it would have been more funnier if his first name was Wiley.
Well, so either way. Still, it's been that type of a day when it comes to James Fox's racing, to say the very least here, to see how he fares out in the afternoon. But looking like we'll come up to 2 laps to go here based on time and scoring. Clock already has reached 0 as he beat it last time by by a few seconds. It's going to be Fox coming around to 2 laps to go.
And with that, he even tapers off a little bit to a 47.4. He knows he's got this pretty much set up in the bag. Grayson Wyatt also just going to settle in as well for second place. He is going to try to work his way through. He's 7 seconds back. Same thing with Brett Hastings. A good podium finish for him if he can keep it on the track as he finishes out this race. As we watch James Fox approaching some lap traffic up ahead, that's Diesel Maxwell. He's about to put a lap down in the 141. And
Tate Hall actually
got
has. I was about to say, he did. Able to make up a spot. As the white flag waves, final time around, lap traffic for the race, the leader in Fox. Diesel Maxwell in his Mohawk helmet, trying to hold on for now to see if he can finish on the lead lap. See if he gives the blue flags or just elects to give the time up here to finish up the race. No problem. Yes, he will. Fox to the inside. Lap Maxwell. As James Fox comes through the final corners, outright domination to start off the day. The 206 Cadet of James Fox comes out of the final corner to take the win in the first final of the day.
And with that, James Fox goes back-to-back feature wins as well. An incredible drive for that number 12 Top Kart machine.
Grayson White will be in second. Brett Hastings looks like he'll round out the top 3. Yes, indeed. Tate Hall and Owen Shulu round out the lineup. Those drivers 40 seconds back, though. Diesel Maxwell finished 1 lap down in the order in 206 Cadet. That leaves our next group ready to go in the next few minutes here. Those
More
drivers
like
do
seconds.
Yeah, 206 Sportsman. Those drivers due up at 11:02. In fact, right on cue, they're ready to open the gates and let them free. Free reign onto the track they go, and they had a photo finish in their race earlier, Taylor.
They certainly did. This was one of the classes we were telling everyone to keep an eye on here today for this morning session, and we're going to see hopefully another exciting fight here in your 206 Sportsmen as they come out onto the track. Lincoln Wiley and company and several others looking to try to see who has what it takes to sit on the top step of the podium in your 206 Sportsmen.
We'll see how they fare out here today for the racing. Should be fun to see what they have in store here in this one. Your running order is Blake Martinez, Lincoln Wiley. Then it's Christopher Heinzen. Ari Berger will start in 4th. Leads Samadamic. And then it's Gio Nelson. Gio Nelson rounding out the order here today. It came down to a couple inches to decide the running order in the first race of the day for this class. Well, it's going to be the matter of how they play it out now. Getting set for the trampolines. They are going super duper fast. Green flag is out. We're underway. A good start from Martinez at least. See if the start sticks as they make the way to corner. Heinzen made the kart stick to move up to second.
How about that fight here on the opening couple of corners as they head down the front straightaway here to start the opening lap. Across the line they will go. And it's Blake Martinez and Heinzen who will lead the charge. It is that MPG Kart Republic trying to see if he can catch up to Blake Martinez. Either way, after today's race, we will have a new race winner after 3 races here in your 206 Sportsmen as they snake their way out of the hairpin and the S's heading towards the back straightaway.
Down the back straightaway they go. Not a great start at all for Wiley after looking to be very sporty very early on in the day. Now it's a matter of what they elect to do in terms of battling. Heinzen was a fair bit back actually in the heat race. This is a big switch of gears for the 267. They found something in terms of preparing for this race.
They certainly have, because they just said fastest lap, and they are putting all kinds of pressure on Blake Martinez here for the race lead. Now they drop back a little bit. This opens the door for Lincoln Wiley to come into the picture here to try to see if he can do it. Points leader Ari Berger is right there, also in the hunt in fourth. Has trouble for one kart, stuck there in the tire barriers. That is the 40 of Liat Simonelli.
Liat Simonelli not having a good time right now. His kart stopped. He's now being directed off the racetrack. 8 minutes to work with on the clock as we see things go the wrong way still for Wiley. Something's gone sour in that 44 kart to go that far back.
Yeah, it is dropped off significantly. He did just, as we see Berger now, set fastest lap, but he has fallen off the pace significantly by over a second compared to your fastest lap of the race so far. So something really amiss in Lincoln Wiley's machine. He's trying to gang back up here as they work their way down the back straightaway, so he might have got something reset in that kart, but he got a lot of work to do, though, with 7.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
Yeah, still plenty of work to go. And obviously, you can't make any major changes while you're driving the kart. So what you did setup-wise, well, you have to stick with it at this point. You can see, well, he's just trying to push to find something, anything. Heinzen, he's the opposite manner as mentioned. He's been able to push to find a lot more speed compared to earlier. That kart keeping Martinez at least at check and at bay. We'll see if he's able to find his way around in that MPG kart. As they make their way down the straightaway still. He's been really good in the second half of the racetrack. That's where he's really closed up. Martinez has been good in the first half of this race.
Really good fight here as we watch on the battle for the race lead. Martinez, Heinzen trying to see what they can do amongst themselves as Berger, your points leader, really trying to keep up the pace, and he has been doing so, setting fast lap after fast lap here for the past 3 or 4 laps now, as he's got a good toe in that top kart to keep pace with the Kart Republic up ahead.
Let's see. All this is with 6 minutes to work with on the clock. Tick-tock. That's all Martinez can say. He hopes those 6 minutes fly by quickly. Last time by, 46.7 for Martinez, up at the front of the field. And this is kind of important for the championship, obviously, early on in the season, to be able to score some valuable points in a race like this. Martinez, mind you, before today, had a best finish of 4th. Now keep in mind, the drop round starting to factor in terms of the overall point tallies, but a race like today is very pivotal, Taylor, in terms of scoring points to pass the 20 and the 44 on raw pace, especially the winners of the first 2 rounds, not at the facility.
Absolutely, and that's where it is going to be critical for him to try to gain as many points as he can here, as he is able to possibly have a shot of taking the points lead, or at least jumping ahead of a couple of competitors in this way across the line. And he's stretched it out to a 1.1 or 1.3 second lead for Martinez. So this is a little bit of breathing room for him right now, looking to try to keep it as is, as everyone's starting to space themselves out, settle into a little bit of a groove in this stage of the race.
Yeah, this has been fun to see so far. Not drag racy like earlier with what's gone on with the 44 kart 5 seconds back. But Martinez backing up the speed that he's needed to showcase for the point standings at least. 46 second lap times. The leaders outside of him are running in the 47-second bracket. 47 flat for Heinzen last time by. You can hear in the background some of the drivers and some of the crew members at least having some fun here as the sun continues to heat things up. 66 degrees Fahrenheit now as we approach midday already here. As the rest of these drivers just continue to see what happens for second now. The 267 of the 20, now within a kart length. Berger going for it. Got a little bit too shallow, lost some time.
He certainly did. That's going to cost him some valuable time here as the 267 of Heinzen starts to pull away a little bit more from the competition as he works his way across the front straightaway. Martinez continuing to set the pace 2 seconds ahead, but Berger starting to make up some ground now. He was a little bit tick quicker right there compared to Heinzen at the moment.
Just a little bit right now. Just needs to find a way to close back up again. It is possible for that 20 to jump ahead, and that's going to help. If so, for the overall point haul, as things stand unofficially, Martinez would have the most points scored overall in the entire championship. Keep in mind, the 20 and the 44 have already used a drop round, essentially as the first round of the season, as a result of a miss. So 2:33 to work with on the clock. Heinzen, who has a potential drop in the second round of the season with the rainy day, still trying to hold on to the second step of the podium.
He certainly is trying to hold on, and he is doing everything he can. Berger, though, putting the pressure on him as well, so keep in mind of that as they work their way down the back straightaway. But Heinzen just hitting his mark, staying in a good length to keep the driver of Berger behind for the time being.
Yeah, this has been fun to see. It's a bit more of a calmer race, I will say, you can say, in the standards of things here, Taylor. But it's a more tactical race for these drivers. More thought process on how to get the job done.
Absolutely here, and you got to think about how these drivers are trying to do this here, especially for these longer distance races. Drivers are just now trying to figure out how to manage their tires, how to make sure that they can stay consistent from start to finish, especially in these sportsman categories and these younger cadet categories, because that is where it is critical for drivers to just be able to learn, progress, and work their way through the karting ranks to be able to one day make it to some of the top tier levels of motor racing.
That's always the goal, right? To be able to run in IndyCar, in road racing, in NASCAR, and any of that. And the first steps to get there in terms of racing, especially at a young age, is in a kart. Because it's not as simple as, hey, I'm going to drive a NASCAR Cup Series machine at age 5. That's a little bit early for that. But if you're young, want to be able to learn, classes like this are the place to be able to move up the ranks and gain some racing experience at the local level.
Absolutely here, and that's where people, for those of you who are maybe new to karting and keeping an eye on this and maybe have your son or daughter or even you yourself want to get involved with racing, reach out to some of these tracks. Start off maybe in the rental carts that they have here at these facilities, because let's be honest, all these tracks that we go to that you see on Kart Chaser broadcast, excluding the street circuits or build tracks that we see, but tracks like here, they have a rental carts where you can test it out, learn some of the basics, and then, of course, talk to some of the teams who have, arrive and drive type situations, or you can buy yourself a kart by talking to some of the manufacturers, chassis who are here at certain events to help you get involved with motor racing.
It's a great chance to be able to learn, absolutely. But it's double sticks in the air, meanwhile, with the race. It's Blake Martinez who controls things up at the front still. Martinez has been outright dominant since the start of this one. No back and forth, no having to battle to be able to hold on to the race lead or even take the race lead. It's just been smooth sailing in his 206 Sportsman Kart. You can almost see him jumping with happiness when it comes to how he's raced around this racetrack. Here in this one, just has a lap and a quarter to go to be able to celebrate the race win, Taylor.
Absolutely. He is just going to continue on here, pedal around the circuit and hit his mark as it comes across. White flag one more time around for him, and he is absolutely doing an incredible job here in that number 38. Trying to see what manufacturer that is. That a Fernando Alonso kart, I believe, possibly by the colors.
And not quite sure, but it is nice color scheme, you can say, in terms of that. But the 38 machine takes the jump, now looks to jump to the race win. Martinez only a couple more corners to work with. Came in today, need to close out points out of those who missed the opening round of the season or missed a round in general. Well, he's been here every week, and now he's got himself some wins. Checker flag waves, a max points haul for Blake Martinez. He gets it done in 206 Sportsman.
How about that? A dominating performance for Blake Martinez. And with that run right there, it's safe to say he will make his way up the running order for the championship.
So, Hines in second, Bergeron's third. Nelson ends up finishing 2 laps down. Lincoln Wiley did park the car in 5th. Sabanelek we've seen with the DNF 14 laps down in 6th position. That's all top to bottom of the running order for 206 Sportsman. As we get ready for what could be a sparkle of a show. How about the Masters? Looking to master the track, 14 karts strong. It came down to a drag race in this Class 2 last time out, Taylor.
It certainly did, and these drivers here are going to put on a show for us here momentarily as they fire the engines.
Most of the engines, a few drivers still yet to sit down in their karts. They're still not due for another 3, 2, 1. And I think there might be a bit of a track cleanup that we might be waiting, or the driver that's not in the kart yet. Now we're ready.
I think that would be the one.
Yes. It's important if your pole sitter is not in a kart to, not let the field pass by. But they're on the track. Derek Hastings will start on the pole. Evan McCorkdale in second. Matt Geist and Troy Toney, the top 4. Scott Hamble and Jay Brian Williams in 6th. Then row number 4, Adam Dietz and Matthew Burpo in 8th. Ryan Waldo in row 5 alongside Jesse Bullock. Kevin Sabanelek starts 11th. Tomer DeMan in 12th. Nick Bailey in 13th. And Bill McLaughlin round out the 14 karts in this field. What are your expectations for this race after seeing how things went to start things off for 206 Masters today?
Well, I know for a fact drivers like McCorkadale and Derek Hastings are going to put on a stellar showdown here between the two of them. Matt Geist and Troy Toney, if those two front runners start to get to battling a little too much, they could be right there in the catbird seat, ready to pounce if the opportunity presents itself.
Going to be the big thing. Can there be a pouncing upon? That really works out for them. That made more sense in the head. But these drivers will have to think with their heads here. They want to try and win this race. So like 13 karts out of the 14. Either way onto the racetrack. McLaughlin did not reach it on to the circuit. Green, green, green. Inside line got a much better start. Matt Geist already to second. The battle is on for third. McCorkadale losing a lot of ground in the battle for third. Trying to fight with Toney as the top 2 check out.
Oh, goodness here. This could be interesting as McCorkadale's got a lot of work to do. We saw that gaggle of karts there battle it out, but Hastings and Geist capitalizing on the start of the race. McCorkadale drops back to P3. Hamble is now up to 4th, so a good start for him on the opening lap.
The rest of the field makes his way on through. Good start as well for Scott Hamble. Had up and down qualifying session in the first place. We know Hamble's got some good speed. Along with Troy Tony, we've seen in plenty of the races around this region as of late. But still, plenty of time to try and get the racing dealt with. The race lead gap is gone already. Corkadale eating into that gap rapidly on this first full lap, up to speed. Side by side for the race lead. Geist takes the dive for the point.
Geist does a great job right there to complete the pass on Hastings. So here comes McCorkadale with a head of steam. Also, Scott Hamble in the hunt as well. As here comes McCorkadale to the inside, try to show the nose, but Hastings holds on for dear life for the time being as they come out down towards the back straightaway.
Working their way down the back stretch. Corkadale trying to find his way around Hastings. He took a few moments all the way to the last laps to try and make a move for the point on the 13. Now Hastings pushing Geist, trying to make it a 2-car breakaway. He is riding the back bumper, trying to build a buffer over that 119 cart. Doesn't work. The buffer's already gone.
Bumper is already gone, Indy. They're trying everything they can in order to make this work as they work their way down towards the back straightaway. But Geist doing everything he can to hold on. But here comes McCorkadale with a big run with help from Hastings. They try to set themselves up for a pass into the hairpin. No, they're going to stay nose to tail. Hamble and Tony now have caught to the tail end of this group of 3. It's now a 5-horse race for the battle for the lead.
Those yellow flags appear to be for Waldo and Bullock. That is why we have yellow flags popping up all the way through Sector 1, all the way to the start of Sector 2. Those carts already being moved off to the side now. So they are well out of the way of danger on the racetrack. Look up front, it's now a 5-car battle for the race lead. Hamble and Tony join in, side by side, a bit of shuffling. Hastings pushed wide. Geist holds on in his orange helmet. Now Hastings looks to carve him back up.
Hastings does a great job right there to gather it up here, but he's got some work to do. As McCorkadale puts a little bit of a nudge right there, opens the door for Hamble to take the 3rd spot away. And Troy Tony right there in the hunt as well as he tries to look for an opening. And McCorkadale gets back on the attack as here comes Hastings to the bottom, side by side for the race lead. Hastings holds on and gets the lead away from Matt Geist for the moment.
For the moment is the key word right now. As they work their way to the opening sector. Lap traffic moves its way straight to pit road. That'll take things on the equation of that for now. I believe that was Bullock driving his cart back out from the grass. Here comes McCorkadale. Takes a poke. Now goes for a prod. Now goes for a send. Rides the side of Matt Geist's cart. And makes his way up to second with a little bit of a rubbity-rub alongside in his yellow cart as the hand signals come out.
Hand signals are starting to come out indeed there, Justin, as they are getting a little argy-bargy coming through here across the start-finish line. Hastings now stretches it out to half a second. McCorkadale finally gets up to second place here as Matt Geist is dropped back to P3. So can McCorkadale try to now get himself back in a rhythm with 5.5 plus 2 laps to go in order to challenge Hastings for the lead?
That's the huge question right now. McCorkadale is getting himself in the rhythm. He's closed up the gap just about fully, in fact, with his run up through Sector 3. Top 2 now have a buffer of at least a quarter, if not half a second. With half a race to go, lap traffic nearly goes in the grass to let him on by. As the rest of the field makes his way down the front straight away. The gap 1 second between first and third, just like that. McCorkadale looking to try and force a mistake from Hastings.
He is trying to find that niche in the armor that Hastings has, that he is being on the defensive to keep McCorkadale behind. So far, not going to work. McCorkadale thinks about trying to set something up here. Not going to work this time as they come through towards the two double hairpins. And nothing from McCorkadale as Geist has to deal with the hard charge of Hamble and Tony.
Guys feeling a lot of pressure for that third step of the podium here today. Still about 4 minutes to work with on the clock as we take a look at those battles for third position. For Scott Hamble, it's been a battle to get here in the first place, up +1 here in the race, but didn't have the best starting position in general earlier on in the day. He's the team manager of AMAX Racing, seasoned veteran, spent most of his life in karting, and now looks to watch to see can he find a way to get a third step on the podium here today. McCorkadale trying to find his way around side. Closed up the gap instead. Geist closed up a fair bit with an initial look for the 19.
Doing everything he can here to try to set himself up for a run as they come around the start-finish line. 3.5 minutes +2 to go. It's not working out in his favor, but they're going to keep on going through, and Hastings still holds on as now everybody bunches back up here for position.
Side by side for third. It's an air poke. Hamble thought about it. Had to back out of it for the single file run to the back straightaway. Still 3 minutes to work with. How do you do this if you're McCorkadale? That's going to be the question. He nearly made contact with Hastings. Now Hamble alongside again. Second time in a lap is not the charm. Geist continues to hold on, and Tony now has a chance to take away fourth. He pulls alongside as the top three move forward. Tony does take away a spot from Hamble. Position attempted, position not gained.
Tony trying to see what he can do now. He's got only 2.5 minutes +2 laps to go as he tries to go for a shot at the podium here. Matt Geist being the gatekeeper for that as he gets a good run with help from Scott Hamble down the back straightaway. Here comes McCorkadale, showed the nose briefly, thought better of it, wasn't going to make the pass attempt there for the race lead. Just going to see if he can work his way through. Now shows the nose here, crossover inbound possibly as they come out of the final couple of corners here, and it brings everybody bunched back up with 2 minutes +2 laps to go.
Side by side for the race lead. McCorkadale takes it at the stripe, just about now looking to run. Question is, can Hastings get back to him, or will Hastings get swallowed up by the swarm? Geist currently in the sights to try and poke on ahead. Gap is 3-4 kart lengths with 1.5 minutes to work with. This is going to take a lot of work to get back up to him. Maybe a few laps. He might have one chance, Hastings might, if he gets back up there.
He's got to try to do it here as quickly as possible because he is running out of options and he is under pressure from Matt Geist as he is pushing down on him right here and putting on the moves to see if he can set himself up as they come over towards the S's. And, lap traffic gets in the way a little bit, but he is out of harm's way. And I believe was Nick Bailey who moved out of there. So the top 9 still on the lead lap, but here comes the rest of the field as they crest over up towards the back straightaway.
Looking like we may get to 3 laps to go coming up here at the stripe based on the time. Yes, Corkadale using a lot more apex. Hastings trying to go apex off on the launch. Doesn't help him on the close-up. Coming up now, 3 laps to work with to try and close up what's about 3/4 tenths for Corkadale. Starting to put out the yardstick. 4 tenths, in fact, is the gap for the yellow card.
We are on 3 laps to go here for your race leader, McCorkadale, doing what he needs to do. Hastings running out of options here. He's trying everything he can to catch back up, even utilizing Matt Geist to help push him down these straightaways to try to close the gap between himself and McCorkadale. About 2 kart lengths separating them as they head into this hairpin, and so far, not able to make it work. Switches over to the next one. No gain at the moment there either for him as they come out of the final couple of corners. 2 to go. A little tap of the helmet there from McCorkadale.
Yeah, a little tap to the helmet, but right now he looks to tap his way to victory lane. Now, question will be, will Hastings break up that opportunity to go to the first step of the podium? It was a drag race between this top two before. Oh, bad corner. Hastings nearly spun the cart. It nearly grip rolled, making its way to the corner. It's cost him a lot of ground. That is costly, Taylor.
That is going to be costly indeed. He's got to try to find a way to gather it back up and gain that momentum that he just lost, because here comes Geist and Tony. They're putting the pressure on him, but he's got it back gathered up and ready to go at it once again. But he lost all of that time to McCorkadale, and it looks like McCorkadale is just got to be consistent and not make a mistake. White flag in the air for him.
Final time around here from KA100 Circuit Whiteland for the 206 Masters. Bill still put in. Hastings eating every curb, trying to find any little bit of ground possible here. Well, Geist have an opportunity to take away the second step if he can pressurize anything. Gap is too significant for Send right now. Corkadale able to go through the final corners here. Just has to make sure no mistakes to be able to step on the first step on the podium. Geist and Tony right behind, still squabbling for third. But it's McCorkadale will take the checker flag. Win on 206 Masters. Hastings, Geist, Tony, Hamill, your top 5 here today, Taylor.
Make it 2 feature wins in a row for Evan McCorkadale to take home the checkered flag here today. Great drive for him, as well as Hastings, a good points day, along with Matt Geist to round out your podium.
Troy Tony finishes 4th, Scott Hamill in 5th, J. Brian Williams in 6th, then it's Burpo, Salmonella, DeMann, and Bailey, the top 10. Dietz, Waldo, and Bullock are your 13 finishers in the race. Look top to bottom at the running order here in this one, as that will just about finish up those drivers. So, next up in the order, KA Jr. is due up next. KA Jr. so far has seen some good racing in that class as well. It's Gallia and Ryan Mort leading the way. Gillen's looking to lock things off in the 64. Lucian Laser and Evan Patton, the top 4. Velos in 5th. Then it's Jordan Lapham who will start in 6th position. Those drivers due on the racetrack at approximately 11:32, which is right about now. But we do have some track cleanup, I believe, that may hold things up just a touch bit here, Taylor, though. Your thoughts for these KA Juniors?
I mean, the KA Juniors has always been a fun category to watch here at Whiteland, and they put on a stellar show. It's going to be a tough one to watch amongst these 3 competitors, especially when we'll see Mort and company battle it out here today.
Let's see, absolutely here. Once these competitors. So, they just get the patience level built up. Overall, though, you have to remember this facility, now part of the K1 family, Taylor, the oldest circuit in all of America. It has a lot of motorsport roots when you think about its history.
It really does. I mean, this track here has seen some of the biggest names in motorsports come through here, and it continues to showcase future superstars that will be able to compete at the highest echelons of motorsports competition here in the United States. And what a better place to do it than here at Whiteland. And it's great to see people and organizations like K1 who want to continue to help build this track up. Of course, they have their newest facility out in Winchester, California as well, where they hosted the K1 World Championship there in Winchester at their new K1 circuit. And it's only going up further and further for all karting facilities if we get people together to be able to continue this amazing form of motorsports, especially at the grassroots level.
Still a few more moments of working together to get the karts cleaned up to go. These drivers almost set to go, it looks like. for today. Reminder on how things go now with the point standings. Laser and Patton, remember, tied on points coming in. Right now, it'd be a 1-point edge to the 800 Kart. But Avalos is still in the conversation. Keep in mind, Mason Galen has 471 total points also to join the conversation. It is razor-thin margins, Taylor. And that's not even including the drop round that's technically being scored on live timing as this round because it's still the final to go. But they're all razor thin up towards the top so far, just 20 points separating overall points. 21, in fact, your top 4.
Absolutely, and we're going to see them now be finally released out onto the circuit. And I have to say, Lazier, Avalos, Galen, these are going to be some of the ones we're going to watch here. Keep an eye also for Ryan Mort. He had a strong kart indeed for him as well, as he was trying to battle it out there in his Kart Republic. As Kart Republic, Top Kart, and many more will try to go for the top step of the podium here today.
Let's find out how this one now goes as these drivers warm up the tires and get them up to snuff. So it's Galen and Mort, Laser and Patton, Avails and Lapham as mentioned in terms of the running order for this field once they get fully moving here. 10 minutes plus 2 laps coming up on the board for these drivers. All karts have reported to the grid. See how they battle for our penultimate morning final of this round. Reminder once again that these drivers will have the Micro, Mini, 206 Medium, 206 Junior, K, Senior and Masters, 206 Legends and Supermasters later on in the day. But KA100 Juniors are underway. And with a good launch already, Laser to second. He is laser focused to try and fight for this race lead. Trying to cross up the 64, not yet.
Yeah, Mason Galen is already locked in and trying to keep Lazier behind, or Laser behind him as they come across the line to start this race here. And here they go. It is going to be close indeed. 0.2 of a second separate your top 2 as they work their way across the line. There you also see Andrew Avalos and Lando Norris Kart, the Kart Republic of Ryan Moore, battling for third as they push and shove each other coming out of the corner.
Yeah, that top 2 have already checked out a fair bit. Avails already to third spot too. Mort not having a good start. All the way back to 4th in the midst of the hornet's nest that's developed back there. Mort, we're taking a look at there as Patton also trying to shuffle and pitter-patter around in the 5th position. Still plenty of squabbling going on, at least in the back. But the front is making it clear. Let's work together and run away as now another group starts to work together.
Yeah, you have pretty much 2 pairs of 2 for all 6 positions. Patton and Lapine are working together as well. A little further back, the AMAX driver, along with, of course, you have Lazier and Galen, who are now working together to pull away from the rest of the field. But Mort is now thinking, you know what, it's time for me to try to go and be the lead dog in this group. So not going to work, though, for him as Avalos holds strong in the Lando Norris kart as Mort looks over the shoulder to check to see how close the gap is between him and Patton.
See, as there's a bit of a swap right there. Mort able to take the send on the 7. Move Mort up to the podium as a result of that swap around with 8 minutes to work with. The top 2, by the way, have been mightily close. Laser keeps on just about running in the back end of the 64 on corner apex. That time it cost him some time. Right now, Galen leaving a little bit of a wider arc on entries. Laser just trying to keep it a little bit more flatter in his quarter marks.
Yeah, just a little bit there. Not wanting to put too much of a pressure effort here. Maybe try to save his equipment there right towards the end to where he can maybe set himself up for a fight to the finish as Mort sets fastest lap of the race. As he picks up a little bit of time here, it's under a second between himself and your race leader as he tries to close the gap coming out of the corner and loses a little bit of time there as your top 2 start to break away further and further from the rest of the field.
Further and further they go with 7 minutes to work with in this field. 1.2 seconds between first and third. Last time by was the distance. Let's make their way down the straightaway. Laser has a decent amount of pace. The problem is Laser doesn't seem to have as much draft pull as I think he may need here, Taylor, down some of these straightaways compared to some of the air karts like we've seen earlier on in the day, KA100 Jr with that straightaway speed.
Absolutely, and it seems like he is struggling right now as here comes Laser and company as he tries to find the opening he needs to get around Galen. Can't quite make it stick right there in the top cart, but that new gen machine is really trying every possible outcome to set himself up to get that momentum he needs to pass around Galen.
He's able to tuck up at minimum, but doesn't have enough speed to pull out and cut out for the race lead to be able to make a carving attempt for this pass. 6 minutes
right
to
here
work
is where
with, and
he
here, yeah, right there, just keeps running him over almost.
Yeah, and with that, with him being stalled like that, he is, Justin, that allows drivers like Mort and Avelos to close in closer and closer to his back bumper as well, which could open the door for them to try to capitalize and get around Laser for that position. So he's got to be careful with that situation as now he loses time to Galen, and now Mort's going to try to set himself up. He'll look to the inside and completes the pass, move Mort up to second place.
Mort closed up a fair bit of ground to get back up there. Now the question is, can he close up for the race win? With 5 minutes to work with, he's got the time to plot and plan it. We've seen plenty of thinking in terms of these races here at this level. Laser watches as Mort closes the gap down to under 2 kart lengths. Mort chipping away bit by bit. He's been getting faster and faster. Last time by, he set the fastest lap of the race. This time by, he ends up going a tenth quicker than the leader.
He certainly does, and he is wanting more. And I got to remember, this is the home track for both these two teams, for Top Kart as well as also for the MPG group as well. This is their track that they battle for supremacy. And as they work their way down the back straightaway heading into the hairpin here, it is going to be who can make it top dog in the KA100 Jr category. Mort trying to poke and prod, trying to find the opening he needs to get around Galen for the lead, but so far not working out for him. And Lazier is right there in the hunt to try to set himself up for the pass. Mort to the inside and new race leader.
Oh. Mort able to take the edge. Now, can he set sail is the big question. Remember, we talked about some of the battles these two have already had over the past year or so across the racing circuit. Now, Galen having Mort go defensive. Mort feels the pressure. Galen way wide, trying to get an arc down on the diamond for the hairpins. Now pokes to the outside, tries to cut back inside. Mort covers it all off as Mort fully solidifies the lead, but how long with the pressure? 4 karts and a choo-choo train.
This train is all set and filled to the max with competition as Avelo's sitting in the catbird seat, ready to capitalize if any one of these three make a mistake as they come towards the back straightaway. Mort now under pressure from Galen for that race lead. Laser also trying to set himself up for a run coming out of corner exit. Can't quite make it work as they try to cross over through the hairpins.
Trying to find a way to slice and dice yet again. Galen trying to find a way to get alongside. Now providing a pressure to the number plate. Block again by Mort. Mort continues to play the defense as they set some of their fastest laps of the race up front. But a lot of ground lost by the 64 in the first sector affords that reset yet again.
It's time to reset and see what he can do. 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go as they head down the back straightaway, and Mort's got the biggest lead advantage since the start of the race. Laser to the inside of Galen for second, completes the pass as Galen goes in the grass, loses another spot to Avelos.
That's absolutely huge. Mort now able to run away. A big mistake for the 64 to go with the right side tires in the grass there. Now Mort has the cushion to be able to breathe. Laser, we've seen earlier on, did not have the pace earlier to make the pass. Now we'll have to find a way to find some sort of pace that pressurized for the race lead. 6/10 last time by the stripe, and it's growing. Mort is trying to stretch it out as much as possible with 90 seconds to go about on the clock.
Here they come through the 2 hairpins now, approaching towards the back half. Can we see Laser find an opening here? Let's see what the lap times are as they come across the start-finish line. Still Mort with the fastest lap of the race, and he improves upon it. Laser does a personal best, but still 7/10 of a second behind. Losing touch here as it looks like Mort set himself up for the long run setup, and he is showing why he's got what it takes to take home the checkered flag here today.
Under a minute to work with now on the clock. There's Avelos. We've seen him be able to slice his way forward. It's been a bit of a battle just to get to that spot. He's had to get the elbows out several times here today. But the 7 is in a great spot for the podium as things run with 40 seconds to work with. About 3 laps to go in this race this time by on the marker. Laser is starting to chip away, by the way, a little bit, Taylor. Keyword just a little bit.
2/10 is quite a significant margin, and setting the fastest lap of the race in the process. So he found a little bit of pace for sure as they head down into the hairpin. Avelos trying to see if he can keep pace, but not going to be in his favor at the moment. Got to keep an eye on this battle for the race lead between Mort and Laser, because Laser is picking up another couple of tenths by the look of it as they come take the 2 to go signal across the line. And yes, indeed, a 40.89. Talk about another 2/10. Laser has found the speed he needs to challenge Mort for the win.
Laser needs to go even quicker. He's chipping away. Oh, big crash.
Trouble.
Laser crashes off the racetrack into the barrier. Mort now in clean space. A hard hit for the 800 kart. As the clock reaches zeros, coming around to the white flag, this time by, my goodness, Mort now with a big advantage for the white flag.
For a second, I thought the kart flipped there, but it turned out just to be a bunch of tire barriers that just ended up over in the air. Tough break there for your second place runner of Lucien Laser as he is done for the day, but for Mort, it's smooth sailing for him as he comes around the circuit.
Coming to the final corners, Ryan Mort claws his way from the mid-pack all the way to the front of the pack after a poor launch. Checker flag now waves. Ryan Mort will celebrate. Ryan Mort wins in KA100 Jr. Fellows in second, and Galen rounding up the top 3, Taylor.
Absolutely. How about Avelos picking up major spots? Biggest mover, picking up 3 of them after starting in 5th position. So a great run for him.
So Mort, Avelos, Galen, Patton, Lapham, the finishers. Lucien Laser does not finish for obvious reasons after contact with the barriers out at the far side of the course. So this will obviously delay things for the next little bit here, Taylor, as a result of that situation by logic, as they get that kart at least off the track. And I'm not sure it's going to have to get tire barrier from the treetops.
Good luck trying to get the tire barriers from the trees. I will say that much. Hopefully they got a big enough ladder.
So we'll take the time to touch upon this last class of the morning session, 206 Light. Is what they will be racing. And remember, Braden Hebert's been dominant today. Braden Johnson put up a great fight earlier, though, to provide some pressure. Once Hebert got the race lead, though, Taylor, he checked out. The question is, Can he get a good start so he doesn't have to deal with the battling back and forth like he did before?
It's a possibility. He's got to get that good jump on the field in order to make it work, but I think he has what it takes. He took a little bit of a learning experience from that heat race to gather everything up and set himself ready for this feature event.
So we'll see in the next few minutes or so. Again, kart cleanup underway at the moment. Touch upon this one more time later on in the day after we have a bit of a break on our side. When we come back for qualifying, it'll be the minis and the micros that will hit the racetrack. Micros first, minis second, the 206 medium and junior, followed by KA senior masters and 206 legends and super masters. They'll all race throughout the day, part of the rotation. Then we would move behind the paywall by 2:59 for the heat races for 6 different classes. We hit the racetrack for the various races for 5 minutes plus 2 laps. The final is 10 minutes plus 2 laps later. And remember too, Taylor, many of these drivers are running double duty. A lot of these competitors race in the morning, then come back with a different kart for the afternoon.
Absolutely. That's just what we love about these races here, especially at the grassroots level, is we will see multiple different drivers racing in multiple classes. We see it all across the different levels of racing, from the grassroots level here for the club sections all the way to the national touring levels that we see across the country.
Looks like the kart is now being moved off the racing surface. See if we'll get the command next soon to open those gates. And it looks like the answer is kart's now gone. Gates are now ready to latch open and open the doors. It's time for 206 light. So here's your running order. Brandon Heber, Braden Johnson, followed by Colton Kelly and Ethan Williams, Colin Harden and Andrew Petrie in 6th. Then it's Zachary Allen in 7th. Andrew Goldman in 8th. Tyler Sims and Daniel Johnson in the top 10. Gavin Haltom in the 11th position. A top to bottom run through of the field's running order here. As the field gets itself warmed up, what do you think is going to happen in this race?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of things I have to say that'll happen. Heber and Johnson will put on a show. We could see some drivers further back who can maybe make a run up through the field, who can maybe learn a thing or two. I think keep an eye on Andrew Goldman. He had some issues in his heat race, looking to maybe see if he can recover. Also, Colton Kelly, Ethan Williams had some good fights there in their heat races. Could they challenge Heber or Johnson for a shot at the top step of the podium?
Field gets all set to go here. As we get all geared up and ready to go. 10 karts on track. Haltom did not take part in the heat race. Green, green, green. The green's unfurled and we're underway. Heber this time able to hold on to the race lead. Johnson losing ground with Kelly going back and forth for second as Heber tries to check out. So a good start up at the front as the top 3 single file out already. Most of the field getting into a rhythm to start 206 light here, Taylor.
Here they come through the field and the S's as they try to snake their way through so far as they continue to battle, and Heber and Johnson have already broken away from the competition by a significant margin. Colton Kelly trying to see if he can find a help from a drafting partner, and so far not going to work out for him as they come through the hairpin. It's about 4 or 5 car lanes as we have a battle for 4th between Harden and Williams.
Yeah, we'll see how the battles now fare out amongst these drivers. First minute burned off the clock here. Heber holds on by 0.2 of a second, but it's Johnson who's faster on the lap total, in fact. We know, though, that 8 kart has great long run pace. We usually see it check out on the long run in this category. the short run isn't the biggest concern for Heber.
Absolutely, it is, and we are going to see how this plays out. He is just trying to pace himself now, keeping, though, Johnson behind him for the time being, because we know once we get further into this race, Heber will start to break away further from the competition and stretch out this lead. He's just got to be careful, take care of his stuff in this opening couple of laps, and then he will start to kick in the afterburners.
It's going to matter pretty soon. We know Johnson might need to disrupt things up at the front of the field if he wants a true shot to be able to take the win. It might not be simple as just wait and see. You might have to force Heber to be pushing those tires. Third through fifth on their own pack right now on screen. Kelly, Williams, and Harden all lined up. Bit of separation between a couple of them, but all of them just about in a grouping. Not a good run for Williams, though. Harden trying to find a way around.
He's got a good run right here as they come across the line, as they work their way through, and Williams holds on for the moment. Harden keeps pace with them, though, as they snake their way through the S's. So far, no big plans for him at the moment in that new-gen kart, as the top kart machine of Williams starts to close back in on Colton Kelly.
They're sent to the inside. Williams, here we go. Taking third spot. Able to zip away. A bit of contact. Yeah, actually picked up Williams' rear tire. Still able to move ahead.
Great heads-up driving right there. They were able to gather it back up and continue on with their position. No one significantly issues there as we go back up to the front of the field. Johnson still keeping pace with Heber right now. Heber just trying to bide his time at the moment as they try to just continue to log laps here, not wanting to push the envelope, burn off those tires quickly as we go back to the battle for P3 between Williams, Kelly, and Harden. There you see Andrew Petrie and Zachary Allen and Tyler Sims having a good fight. Sims looks to the inside of Allen, completes the pass.
And to make some moves work as we approach the midway point of the race pretty soon here. Already from the starting order, how things have gone as the purple machine just to push forward up towards the front. You see how things are going there, but it's about trying to find a way to get leapfrog to another group, Taylor. Usually these packs separate into your own battle groups for the race. It's hard to leapfrog to another pack.
It really is, and now we're starting to see Braden Heber kicking those afterburners. He really picked up the notch there by over 0.6 of a second now over Braden Johnson, as Johnson has a small little mistake. He can try to see if he can gather it back up with 5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. There you see the battle for P3 there further back as they head into the 2 double hairpins. And as we watch the top 3 or 3rd, 4th, and 5th come through, they are trying their way through, and no changes for position at the moment, with Williams doing whatever he can to keep up the pace.
Yeah, he's kind of just maintained at this point what the pace has gone to at the moment. No major significant changes in terms of the interval since that pass attempt. By the way, Heber's interval has now grown to 8/9 of a second as predicted. The long run pace has kicked in for the 8 for the later stages of this race. All lined up as these drivers stay aerodynamic and try and draft their way forward. Under 4 minutes to work with.
Now the question is going to be, can Williams hold on? Kelly's doing everything he can, but here comes Harden with a run around the outside, and there goes Kelly getting around Williams, and Harden also going to get around Williams for position as they go into turn 1.
Able to make the pass. Kelly back up to 3rd step of the podium. Ethan Williams looking for a chance to regroup now as Harden provides a lot of pressure to the back bumper. Harden hits the bump, tries to line up, trying to find his way up into the fourth spot potentially. No move coming quite yet as Williams going the wrong way.
He certainly is, but he's starting to gather it back up to see if he can set himself up for a run here as they head over towards turn number 1. As they cross the line, tries to see if he can go around the outside, cross them over around and the inside, cannot make it work. He'll have to drop back and push on through to hold on to the back bumper of Colton Kelly. Oh, big slide right there for Colton Kelly. This will open the door for Ethan Williams.
Williams not able to dive through it, though, has the single file out. Look back from Kelly with about 2 minutes to work with. Nearly opened the door with that mistake. Now the door being pried open. Williams not able to get the crowbar to stay in the door frame as Kelly goes defensive.
Good little fight here as now Kelly tries to go on the defense, but that's not going to work here as Williams and Harden try to push together through and see if they can find the opening they need to get around Kelly. Kelly's got to be careful through this section. Make sure he doesn't slide again. Here we go. Here comes Williams, though.
Williams again, trying to swoop around. Couldn't get alongside. And yet again, they're forced to reset. Now Williams has the run, dives up the inside, a crossover by Kelly. Back and forth they go. Kelly hits the rumble strips. Now Kelly resets, Williams retakes third fully.
Beautiful drive right there by Williams as they make the run across the start-finish line. And with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go, Williams now holds the third spot.
Still have a minute to go or so before this battle solidifies itself here. Bit of some shaking up now as Kelly had to squabble in the seat. Now he gets the hand signals out, says let's work together, try and gain 2 spots here. Kelly responds by overdriving the corner. Harden tries to slice him up. Looked to cross him up a third time. That plan didn't work whatsoever for Kelly, and now Harden has the speed to potentially go for a move. 3 to go.
Here we go. It is go time. No worries up at the front of the field. Heber has a 2.5 second lead over Johnston. Williams trying everything he can to hold off Kelly, but Kelly's overexerting the corners quite a bit, and he's got to be careful for Colin Harden because he is going to try to make a couple of passes here.
Just got to find a way to get the run fully alongside. That's been the tough thing here today, actually making the side-by-side move and making it work to be able to move ahead. Clock has reached zeros, by the way. 2 laps to go has been taken. I believe the old flag just got displayed.
That allowed Colin Harden to pick up a 2-for-1 special and get third away. As they try to gather themselves back up and go back at it once again, but they are running out of time with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I've seen yellow flags pop up there, Taylor. Then that position changed, as you noted, and now Harden has really spread away for third. He's pulled away by nearly a full second. Coming up to the white flag this time by. Heber's already taken the final time around. Harden looks to have now just about confirmed the third step of the podium.
Yeah, there's the yellow flag right there for the stop card of Andrew Petrie. So race officials may have to intervene on that call right there as we pick up our race leader of Braden Heber as he continues on with his dominant run, looking to go 3 for 3 here in these actions for the Indy Karting Challenge at the K1 Whiteland Raceway Park.
Coming around to the final corner, Braden Heber yet again puts on a dominating performance. 2:06 light. Goes the way of Braden Heber. He picks up the win by 3+ seconds over Johnson. Harden will round out the podium, it appears. To confirm, yes, he will. Ebert, Johnson, and Harden, your top three. Williams and Kelly, the top five. Sims, Allen, Johnson, Goldman, and Petrie, the running order for 206 Senior. And with that being said here, Taylor, that basically wraps up the morning sessions just like that. Your thoughts here?
It was an exciting day. We saw some exciting close calls in the heat races. The feature races really showed who had the better setups there at the end. But you know what? It's time to now get ready to see who has what it takes to win in the afternoon.
We'll take a break. We'll be back when it comes to the afternoon sessions here on Kart Chaser. We hope to see you then. Till that point, for Taylor Burris, for everyone here on Kart Chaser, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. For the rest of your morning, we'll see you this afternoon for IKC Round 3 coverage.